This is Fox 25 News at 6.
CNN, Kevin, thank you. Home Depot confirming the company's payment system has been hacked, and it happened several months ago. The cyber attack may have started, in fact, in April. It involves every store in the U.S. and Canada, that's 2,200, and could impact more consumers than the massive Target breach last year. The Secret Service is working with banks and the hardware chain to find those responsible. Joining us with some insight is Charlie Wiseman. He is here from the Altshuler Computer Center at Wentworth Institute of Technology. Charlie, good to see you.
Thank you, Mark. How you doing?
Terrific. Now, there is no evidence that any debit card PIN numbers were compromised, I'm told here, but multiple financial institutions reporting a steep increase over the past few days in fraudulent ATM withdrawals on customer accounts. What does that tell you?
You know, honestly, that tells me that the criminals are scared. Now that Home Depot has made it public that they were breached, and now they're working with the Secret Service and others, they're scared. They know that those cards that they've stolen aren't going to be good for very much longer. They're trying to get every dollar out of them they can while they still can before they all get canceled.
We've been reporting security breaches over and over again in the past few years. Does this increase pressure on retailers to change the way they handle security, you think?
Absolutely. I mean, even retailers who haven't had significant breaches, they're starting to realize that this is serious. They have to take it seriously. Target said they've spent, what, $146 million on their breach?
Exactly.
That's a big chunk of change, right? Everybody's scared about that. No one wants to have that. So they're starting to think about how do we be more progressive up front to make sure we don't have that same kind of breach.
I was going to say, what can they do?
You know, that's actually really difficult to think about. There's so many things they could try to do, but the truth is there's so many parts to these systems. There's the credit cards themselves. There's all of the registers, the credit card machines, the servers involved. There's so many parts. It's hard to think about how do you fix it. But there are a couple of things they can do. Certainly, they can hire analysts to come in and look at their company from the top down. But more importantly, there are new technologies coming down the line, things like the so-called chip and pin credit cards that don't have a magnetic stripe on them. You don't swipe them anymore. They just have a little chip in the card itself that communicates with the register. And then rather than signing the card, you have to punch in a PIN number when you make a transaction, like a debit card. And the way those are designed makes it much more difficult for hackers to steal information at the point of sale or at the register.
You know, that was a question I was going to ask you a little bit later on in the interview, so you handled that nicely. Now, let's talk about this, though. What about the good old thumbprint, fingerprints? Would that help?
Maybe. I mean, certainly you think about, gosh, it's really hard for someone to steal my thumbprint. It may help when you're talking about a transaction at the retailer, but of course that's not going to help you when you start talking about online transactions where it doesn't matter if you have the card right there or not. There's no way for them to get the thumbprint. So those kind of technologies likely will come down the line and will help, at least in some cases, but not everything.
Once our information's stolen, what's done with it next?
Usually, the hackers don't use the information themselves. They actually sell it to other criminals because they want to minimize their own risk. And so they'll sell thousands or tens of thousands of credit card numbers along with personal information to other people on, online marketplaces, underground marketplaces, and then those people go take that information and then, start making fraudulent transactions. So
you would say in the short term, until we can get this under control, there's probably going to be more breaches coming.
Definitely. This is the kind of thing that's probably going to get worse before it gets better. The trend in the last few months and years, it's not going away. But hopefully, in the long term, as we learn more about these hacks and how they work and what we can do to circumvent them, we'll build better technologies to help us in the future.
I know I've talked about this in the past. Other experts in your field, they always say, check your statements every month.
Absolutely.
To see if there's any suspicious activity. That's all you can do.
That's all you can do. And you need to do that. Everybody should be doing that every month, every statement you have with any bank or any other sort of financial statement.
Maybe mundane and boring at times, but if you find something that's not right, something amiss, you'll be glad you've put in the effort for sure. Charlie Wiseman's with the Wentworth Institute of Technology. Appreciate it as always. Thank you.
Thank you.